Ooh, let me tell you what I want.
Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography. If you've been following along all week, you know we're talking about Poison, and hopefully you clicked that subscribe button so you could catch us talk about the Poison that not a lot of people talk about when they talk about this band. I'm your host, Jason. With me is Tim with the taco shirt and Bill
Hi.
with the blue shirt out in the forest.
Damn right.
He's fucking
Look
Sleeping
at my
Beauty
look at
over
my
there.
gear.
So, yeah, crack a smile. If you missed the previous videos, click the playlist link down below. Blah blah blah, yada yada yada. You know the drill.
Well, I mean, right off the bat, we're starting with some new metal.
Is Poison new metal?
Should we?
Apparently, they're trying to be. But then, well, actually, and before we even get into it, we need to talk about there's like a new guitar player.
A new lineup change, yep.
Yep. So do you guys know why old Richie got kicked out of the band?
Nope.
Yeah, I do. I know why. Oh, Ricky wasn't having that shit.
Ricky wasn't having it.
Darn, that was after Richie had a solo. Well, not a solo, but a song.
He would mess.
Yeah,
he was
Richie
messing around
ended
with,
up. Yeah, go ahead.
He was messing around with Ricky's girl.
Oh shit.
And bros
Yeah.
before hoes, man. You know the rest of the band's like, nah,
Yeah.
you out.
And so they bring in Blues Saraceno, who I actually heard of before Richie Kotzen, going back to the Guitar World Shredder list. Guitar World's still a great industry magazine. You can always kind of figure out what's going on in the industry.
Interesting.
Yeah. And, well, I mean, guitar-wise, this definitely gives Richie Kotzen a run for his money. There's a lot of cool guitar stuff going on here. But you also get, like, Bret Michaels rapping in Shut Up, Make Love. Like, oh, man. And then it's just a bunch of just super generic stuff that's, like, trying really hard to be somewhere between Matchbox 20 and, interestingly enough, where Def Leppard is in the early 2000s as well. Possibly even Bon Jovi. I'm not familiar with Bon Jovi's output in the 21st century.
I think he was solo by that point, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I think it was like back and forth.
I don't remember what he was doing.
Because, like, It's My Life was like 99, 2000, right?
Hey, Def Leppard was actually ahead of the curve because
Well-
Slang was 96.
That's true.
My Life's music video, that have to be post 2000, I think. Because it was like active use of cell phones and texting and personal computers in that music video.
Which
Huh?
video?
They were around in the 90s.
I don't know if it was.
Who
But you didn't have the
I don't
antenna.
know. Whatever it was.
Yeah.
Man, this... Going to the bonus tracks, Face the Hangman is an outtake from Open Up and Say Aw, and it really does stand out here. It actually sounds like some classic Poison, even if old Brett there is singing really funky in some places. I can definitely see why they left it off the album. But that was kind of the highlight for me on this one. Mr. Smiley, like, was so dumb. But in a sea of just, like, ridiculously dumb, I guess that would be a highlight.
My notes just say kind of dumb.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb.
It was dumb.
I'm going to go on a limb here and say worst Poison album cover.
I concur with that one.
I think this is their worst one.
I love how three members are looking at you, and the other one's just like, no.
He must be playing bass. Yep. Yep. That's a bass player, not giving a crap.
Bass says, nope, I'm not here, so you never hear me. Fuck you, I'm out.
All right, well, my notes. Best thing you ever had? Hey, not an instrumental. It's not bad. Sounds like a natural progression from native tongue. Shut up, make love. What the fuck is this? Okay, just short little thing in the beginning. I was worried for a second. I can't imagine anyone wanting this in the year 2000.
We have Britney in 2000. Come on.
Right, like, it's Britney, bitch. Baby gets around a bit. Kind of sounds like Marcy Playground or Matchbox 20 or some other late 90s alternative one-hit wonder. Weird. Cover of the Rolling Stone. What the hell is he doing with his vocals? So fucking weird. It's a fine cover, I guess. Be the One, a little long, but it wasn't the worst thing I've heard today. Mr. Smiley, kind of dumb. Sexual Thing was the dumbest thing I've heard all today. The lyrics are horrible. The music sounds like bad 90s bands. Horrible. Lay Your Body Down. Is this a trend I have just never been exposed to until we started doing this show, where a band has this awful, sexist bullshit song and then follows it up with a "But Baby, I Love You"? This one had some red flags, though. No Ring, No Gets. Kind of sounds like Poison here and there, but it also sounds like a little trend chasing.
It's a little Kid Rocky in places, too.
It's a little trend chasing.
Yeah.
That's the way I like it. When the girl goes down, that's the way I like it. The way he sings this one kind of puts a different spin on Lay Your Body Down, huh? Musically, it was Poison meets That's Why I Say Hey Man, Nice Shot. Tragically Unhip, wow, someone is a little salty that no one gave a shit about 80s Glam by 91. Fuck this song. Doing As I Seen on My TV.
What you seen on your TV?
If I had to pick a top song from this album, I guess it would be Seen on My TV. Luckily, I don't have to pick a song from this one, but the lyrics are pretty dumb. It could have worked if the previous song wasn't just Brett being salty that no one gave a shit about Poison. This one feels like a we don't really care, no one cares about us, but I really do care type thing. It was weird.
Well, this would have been around the time he did an independent film with Charlie Sheen about two dudes in prison.
Okay.
If anybody remembers that, hit us up in the comments. That was around this time.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them getting into acting around that time, right? Like D. Snyder was doing some shit.
Yeah, yeah. But he wasn't, getting Charlie Sheen to fund it all.
No. One More for the Bone was fine. It happened. Set You Free sounds like a riff Lenny Kravitz threw away. Overall, it was fine, though, I guess.
Good old Lenny.
Man, he keeps some real clunkers.
Crack a Smile. It was just a demo. It sounds like a demo.
And it's still terrible.
Yeah.
Even though it's the title track.
This album,
yeah,
it wasn't as bad as I was expecting with it being Poison in 2000. But overall, it was still bad. Like, it just wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It was as bad as I thought it was going to be.
That was a bar. This album was a bar in a lot of ways. And then the bar got broken, but we'll get to where the bar got broken later. Holistically, I mean, no one really wanted Poison in 2000s. I mean, here's the thing, and only because I brought up Cinderella on, Flesh and Blood. Cinderella was done by 2000. Like they were touring, but they weren't producing any new albums.
Well, neither was Poison, really. They were really, like, these were last-ditch efforts. And if you look at the sales, like I think they said this sold 9,000 copies in its first week.
But like, I guess what I'm saying is like Poison was still attempting to push out albums, and I'm not saying that as a positive either.
Sure.
Like,
okay.
Like, thinking about, 2000, hair and glam rock, it's dead. And you know what? They're exploring new metal. Okay, Def Leppard, do whatever whenever you want. Like, no one's gonna stop you.
It didn't go as new metal as I thought it was going to go, though. Like, looking at this
Yeah,
album
it was just
cover,
that first track.
Yeah,
it's like they were testing the waters.
This was their. They didn't have a slang, but this was their. God, what came after slang? Whatever that one was. That's this album.
Oh, that was
It wasn't self-titled.
It was Euphoria.
Euphoria. Yeah.
Euphoria is more a back to basics. Copy
You're right.
Hysteria.
So this wouldn't even be a Euphoria. This would be would this be a self-titled then, maybe? No, this isn't self-titled.
This ain't self-titled.
No. That's another back to basics.
You know what? This is Sparkle Lounge.
Sparkle
all right?
Lounge, yes.
This is Sparkle Lounge.
Yes.
In 2000. So at least it's before Sparkle Lounge.
It is, yeah. Yeah.
Not that that's a positive, but actually it would be a positive. Because at least, Def Leppard was still tracing the trend, 6 years after the fact. But go watch our Def Leppard videos where we fully dissect all of that. For me, if I had to actually say what my top song off this album would have been Be the One, actually. I thought that one was alright. I thought it had a cool guitar kind of going on it.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I would say forgettable, but I want to forget some of this stuff.
Yeah.
That's... it sucks whenever an artist puts something out like this, where you just want to forget that the album existed, but still kind of happened. So you got to remember it existed.
They were trying to sell the Poison name,
yeah,
it's a cash grab.
And
people like Cowboy probably bought this thinking they were going to get Poison.
It was a cash grab, but how many cash grabs do you see that were as blatantly unsuccessful as this one, though? It's even like Def Leppard's Sparkle Lounge cash grab, and their Diamond Rio and everything, Diamond Star Halos, all of their cash grabs, they still kind of worked.
I think Def Leppard sounds more like Def Leppard than Poison sounded like Poison on this record.
Yeah, for sure.
This doesn't sound like Poison. Poison fans didn't want this. The kids didn't want this.
No one wanted this.
No one wanted this.
Nope. No one asked for it, and this is what we got. Now, if I remember right, I was doing some
nobody asked for it, and they underperformed.
Yep. So I was doing some side research, and if that was correct, so they did the greatest hits in '96, if I remember right.
Which was big.
Which was the cash grab. Yeah.
Allegedly, the studio this was already recorded and everything in '96, and they postponed it to 2000 in favor of the greatest hits cash grab.
Which actually makes sense because this album sounds more like the late '90s alternative Matchbox 20 shit than it does new metal.
Yep. And it makes... I'm not saying that helps. It might help the album a little bit, but at the same time, if this album had been released in '96, I don't think it would have done any better. No. At all. In fact, it might have done worse somehow.
Yeah, because you can't change your sound inorganically without sounding, especially in the '90s, because the '90s was more about authenticity, and a band from the '80s who sounded that put out Unskinny Bop or to try and
I Want
reinvent
Action.
yourself. Yeah, you can't reinvent that. That's who you are. It's what you projected yourselves as. That's your image. You can make a new metal album cover here. It's not going to change the fact that like people who liked you because you were this.
Yep.
I don't know.
Well, and Motley Crue were doing this too, though, at the time. Like, a lot of the glam bands were chasing this trend.
And it's
We're
interesting
going to try
because
to look cool, and you're going to get faked out, but basically we're just going to put out some garbage.
which is interesting because we just did Ghost last week. If you guys haven't watched that, if you're like watching these videos and you're an old school Poison fan, don't thinking there's any good music out nowadays, go check out Ghost because they actually replicated the sound of what the 80s were, and they just made it cool and they made it work, whereas Poison tried to change their sound and it just nobody wanted this. Like, I can't imagine anybody wanting this.
I mean, I'm the one that picked Poison. I didn't want this.
Speaking of not wanting, we got to briefly talk about Power to the People, which came out the same year. This album cover is very early 90s, like a Tribe Called Quest type vibe almost, like I don't know. This is even worse than the last album, cover-wise, I think. I don't know why he's rocking the Four Non Blondes hat.
Because it's Poison.
Did you guys listen to this one?
I did.
I did as well.
This is also the reason it's a notable release is because Cece's back.
Yep. And 5 new songs, and then the rest is a live performance.
Yep. I was hyped. I was like, you know what? Native Tongue wasn't for me. Crack a Smile definitely wasn't for me. Maybe it was Cece. Maybe he's the fucking key.
Maybe he's the secret sauce.
Yep. So I was curious. I checked this one out. Power to the People. But there's only one Power to the People, and it came out in 1990.
It's definitely not this one.
It's not this one. Did Poison do some market research and discover that the fans of old Poison would like new metal bullshit? I know Cowboy loved Poison, and he loved new metal, so this should have been a huge success because it's utter trash, and trash like this was selling at the time.
No, this is even trashier than that.
You would think like if they would have played this on the radio around the same time as like Limp Bizkit and shit, but maybe it was the name. I don't know.
I think it was the name because honestly, yeah, you're right. Like honestly, it's not a bad new metal song, and it doesn't sound like Poison. If I heard this just in passing and someone told me it was Poison, I'd laugh. I'd be like, no way.
So this is nothing about this album. I mean, aside from the live parts, but like it doesn't sound like a Poison album at all.
Can't Bring Me Down. That was annoying and stupid. The last song sounded really familiar. They ripped that off from somewhere. The whole song sounds like something else. It's awful. Strange is probably the best song on the EP. It was very like bottom low tier a Tom Petty song, but it was a decent Bryan Adams song. I Hate Every Bone in Your Body But Mine. The auto-tune was strong with this one.
Yes, it was.
It sounds like a really, really bad mallcore song. Did Poison invent mallcore? Yeah, I was gonna skip this one until I saw that Cece was back, so I listened to it and it was a fucking disappointment. Fuck this EP.
Now, was it better than Crack a Smile? Because you got the live ones after.
Songs.
You got the live ones.
Well, yeah, I mean the live. I wasn't listening to live shit. I only listen
I
to the.
listened to one of the live songs just to kind of get the quality and kind of a performance vibe. And yeah, the quality was pretty rough.
I assume that part was good.
I mean, I've heard better live recordings.
It's no live at
Honestly,
Leeds. Would you put Power to the People
yeah,
over live at Leeds?
no, no. I mean, honestly, I go back like we didn't talk about it in these episodes, but their previous live album, "Swallow This Live," sounds infinitely
Which
better.
I do remember that one. Cowboy played that one a lot too. Like,
Yeah.
probably should have had it on the list.
So, a hot take. CC DeVille sings "I Hate Every Bone in Your Body But Mine," and then he's also going to sing a couple songs on the next album.
Oh shit! Yep.
Hot take. Those three songs that CC sings are the most interesting things they've done since Flesh and Blood. And this is the first taste of it. Yes, the auto tune is strong on this one. It almost sounds like an Offspring song.
That's interesting. Oh, Hollyweird's gonna get weird and interesting.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Yeah, Power to the People is kind of shitty new metal. And then you get like their Matchbox 20 song, then you get your ballad song, and then like they're covering all the bases. You can definitely tell CC's back. Yeah, I think he kind of is the secret sauce.
I mean, CC's the man, dude. Like, CC's cool as
Yeah.
shit. I watched a bunch of interviews with him. He's like cool as shit.
Yeah, now, I mean, if we were color coding this release, would it get Nickelback brown? Yes.
Oh yeah.
But it might have a top song contender.
Nah. I ain't pulling. If you pull something from this for the top songs, you can have it. It's not a steal.
Okay. Well, then I'm safe on one. Good.
But I know which one it is, and I like where you're going because we might be a steal on another record.
Okay. Interesting.
Luckily, we're not ranking that motherfucker. We got to rank.
No, we got to rank Crack a Smile instead.
Oh, who gets to guess this one?
I do.
Oh man, you get the easy one. You set your shit up.
Damn right. Gotta think cerebrally. Yeah, we're going straight 5 here.
Let me double check.
If it's not straight 5, I would be heavily surprised.
I can't even find my notes, but I'm pretty sure you're right.
It's my number one.
I'll put Bill's here.
Kidding. It's 5.
I ain't moving all them fucking images. It goes above number one. It's like
It's beyond
That's
number
plus here. It transcends music.
Yes. I literally levitated as I listened to it.
ooh, when he
Never
started
mind,
rapping, I
ain't
was
got
like, "What
shit
the
on this album."
fuck is this shit?" Okay, so no hot takes there. I'm pretty sure we are in alignment with that album with the fan base. And if not, if this is your favorite Poison record, or if you like this Poison record better than any other Poison record, let us know down below why. Come on the show. We'd love to have a discussion on that one. All right, we got 2 more to go. We getting there, boys. We getting there. Be safe. And what, Bill?
Make good decisions.
Aye.
People want to do my